Meal kits often market themselves as an easy meal prep solution, but often disappoint with complicated, overlong recipes that aren't worth the effort. Fortunately, Home Chef knows that struggle and delivers fresh, delicious meal kits that respect your time. You guys, lately, I have been so freaking busy recording all of these episodes, all of these extra episodes. And when it comes to dinner time, I am wiped out and I do not have 45 minutes to an hour to cook something for myself or for anybody else. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef number one in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. This is what I'm talking about. Easy recipes. So, whether you prefer the classic meal kits with the pre portioned ingredients, which I like, but lately they've also got these quick 30-minute recipes, which is saving my life. They also have oven ready options, which are another lifesaver. They have microwave meals, or they have a dedicated family menu that is, if you've got little kids, sometimes you need to get something different. Home Chef has everything you and your family needs for those hassle-free, delicious dinners. Home Chef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs. Plus, we love this, it's economical. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 a month on groceries. That's a lot of money. And when meal planning ends up being on the back burner, check out Home Chef's new 5-ingredient meals that simplify prep with super easy recipe steps using 5 fresh pre-portioned ingredients. Y'all, you can get in the kitchen, you can pull it out of the fridge, you can prep it in 10 minutes, pop it in the oven, and you've got dinner on the table and everybody's happy, okay? For a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/pinkshade. That's homechef.com/pinkshade for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/pinkshade. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Thursday. That means it's Pop and Bravo. So I'm here with I would say, a Bravo expert because it's Brian Moylan, Dame Brian Moylan, president and founder, CEO, and king of the Real Housewives Institute.
Yes, I will take all of the above.
How are you doing? It's afternoon there where you are in England.
I know. Oh, this is the worst few weeks of the year because our daylight savings and your daylight savings don't line up, which is crazy. So yeah, so all my schedule's being thrown off. But the sun is shining, rare for London, so we're taking it.
So you can't just do 5 hours ahead. You got to do like 5 hours ahead minus 1 plus 3 or something.
Yeah, so right now it's 4, but then on the other side of daylight savings, there's like 2 to 3 weeks where it's 6. So
I can't.
I know, it's terrible.
It's so hard for me even sometimes to be like, okay, so I've got to record with somebody in California, so I got to go back 3 hours.
Yes.
And I'm literally like counting on my fingers. I can't imagine. Just put it into your Google, I guess.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I've had to do the past few weeks. So even today, I was like, "Oh shit, I better make sure I have the right time. I don't want to be late for Mary."
Oh my God! Well, listen, we've got things to talk about.
Yes.
It's interesting since you do live in London. When you talk about pop culture, is it different pop culture over there because they're interested in more like British boy banders and people in Parliament? I don't know.
No, absolutely. And the example I like to use is I went to an 80s night with a friend of mine for his birthday, and you're like, oh, 80s night, I'm going to know all the songs. And you get there and it's like Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Prince. And you're like, yes, bopping along. And then some song comes on and everyone loses their mind and you've never heard it before in your life. And you're like, what the fuck? And that's when I really feel like super American or and so it's like a lot of it is so the same, but then like certain things are different. So another great example is we had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, obviously.
Okay.
In England, there was some kind of moral panic around the word ninja. So here they're the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's just always like you just find these weird things, or I'll think something, oh, everybody's had whatever, but no. And any jokes about like commercials, I always say easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Like nobody here gets that.
I do
So
a lot of like Calgon Take Me Away, like they would
yes,
never, yeah.
no clue. And then they're like singing Shaken Back brings the freshness back. And I'm like, what the fuck is Shaken Back? So, it kind of goes both ways. But
Are you there forever and ever? Or are you there for a few more years? What's the story?
we're here for the foreseeable future, mostly for my husband's job.
Yeah,
And yeah, and so, I go back and forth mostly to LA and I like go and hide from the winter. But
yeah,
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 we're like pretty much here. And so I've been trying to really, because that's how I relate to a culture. So that's what I really try to do. So I had my friends make me like a playlist of gay bar hits that didn't make it to America, so that
okay.
when I'm like at the gay bar, I could be like, "Oh, I know this song, yes!" And it's like some Cheryl Cole song that no one in America has ever heard of.
And it's like
So
brand new to you. You're like, "Have y'all heard this song?" And they're like, "Yes, from 1984." Yeah.
yeah, right, exactly. And so yeah, so I'm working hard to get it. And so there's a show here called Titanic, which was in New York. Have you heard
Yeah.
of
I've
this?
heard of it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
dying to see it actually. Yeah.
Oh, it's super funny. And so they rewrote a lot of the kind of like pop culture jokes for like English audiences. And
Okay.
so I was very proud of myself that my husband kept being like, "What's that mean? What's that mean?" And I was like, "Oh, I know, girl."
Now, is
Oh yeah.
your husband is British?
No, he's American.
Okay, okay, but you knew the British jokes and he did not because he has not been studying like you have.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
So, because he
Got
pays
it.
attention to like serious things, and I pay attention to like reality television and gay bar hits.
Listen, whatever feeds your soul, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, so thoughts on speaking of pop culture slash Bravo, thoughts on Jax's shocking revelation that he had a drug problem.
Oh my God. What I loved about it was when Brittany was like, okay, now that it's out in the open, I'm going to talk about it. Like, it's shocking to me that, a decade plus of Vanderpump Rules and nobody ever said anything more than it's about the pasta, about Jax's, drug problem. So congrats to them for keeping it under wraps. But yeah, none of us were surprised. And I loved on Twitter seeing all the people posting pictures
Yeah,
from the show of like Jack's clearly out of his mind.
out of
And
his mind. And just like,
yeah,
now we heard a while back, this was a couple of years ago, and it could have been, it was from the Southern Charm cast in Catherine Dennis days, where when they would come into these apartments, Shep probably included, allegedly, that the camera crew would have a code to say back and forth to each other. It was like, um, you know, VD, like visible drugs.
yeah,
Yeah. And so I don't think this is brand new. I mean, if
no.
anybody didn't know these guys are on coke, then you've not been paying attention. And I know Jax has had like 4 nose jobs. Who was I talking to last week? Said, "Oh, is that a thing? You have to get a lot of nose jobs." I go, "Yeah, because you keep making holes in your nose with the
Yeah,
cocaine." Yeah,
exactly. Yes. So, well, and also I would love for Jax to be a little bit more open about his steroid use too, which
mhm.
I assume, remember when he had to have breast reduction from his supplements?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
So, I think that let's all be a little bit more honest about what we're doing. And that's the thing, is like I don't care about it, about your drug use, about your plastic surgery, about your steroids, like whatever. Just don't lie to us. The audience is way too savvy for that.
Yeah. Yeah, and, oh, Jax. So, I do like that, and I haven't listened to it yet. People told me that Brittany and Kristen went on some podcast, or maybe it was Brittany's podcast and Kristen
Yeah.
came on, but they said that it was hard to listen to because Kristen kept hitting the mic.
Hasn't she done enough podcasts by now to know? Like,
So, yeah, but I
oh
do
my
wanna
God.
listen because because from what I heard, Brittany comes in and goes, "Oh, I counted 31 lies, and I'm gonna go through each one, one by one."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. The trailer for the Valley season 2 looks fantastic. And I thought it was going to be all Jackson Brittany divorce blow up, but it looks like everybody's storylines are popping off. So it's going to be I'm looking forward to a good season.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, do people over there talk about the Baldwins and did you watch?
Not really. And I couldn't find it here. So I have yet to watch it.
Do you have Max or Discovery Plus?
We do not have Max and we have Discovery Plus, but it's different. Even like our Netflix is different. Like we have things that you guys don't and vice
Uh-huh.
versa. And so it's all like very weird. Also, they release things differently. So we might get the Baldwins and whatever. So like watch what happens live for whatever reason. It takes like 4 days to get here.
Hmm.
So like the episodes are always old. It's very strange. So I have not watched the Baldwins. I read a bunch of reviews about it.
Okay.
Um,
Well, that's
uh,
not where it's at. Where it's
no.
at is my recaps because I'm
Okay.
recapping it.
I'll check it
And
out. I'll check it out.
I got to tell you something. I think you're going to like it. I
Okay.
think you're going to like it.
There have been, as you could imagine, a lot of thoughts on Meghan Markle's new show. Oh, sorry, Meghan Sussex's new show
By the way,
over here.
I think that Ivar from Traders was like her last name is not Sussex, it's Mountbatten dash whatever. Her last name is
Yeah,
not
Windsor.
Success.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why
No,
would she say that?
I don't know. So they don't have last names technically, so
Yeah.
they can kind of decide whatever their last name was. And I guess at some point, Prince Philip, the Queen's husband, decided that their name should be Mountbatten hyphen Windsor.
Yeah.
And so, but they could like change it and whatnot. The other crazy thing I learned is the king or queen doesn't have a passport because they're the ones who issue the passports.
So they should issue one to themselves. What do you mean?
Right, but apparently they can't. So the king does not have a passport.
So when he travels to other countries, it's illegal.
Yeah, he's just like, look at my face. Don't you know who I am?
Look at my flowing robes.
Yeah.
Um, well, I gotta tell you that if you want me to, just remind me, and I can send you over the episodes. There's been three. I don't want you to have to pay for them, but if you want to listen. But there's the first one is on our free feed, and then the other two are on subscription. But we, Kimberly and I, think it is great.
Okay.
We love it. We're very concerned about Alec and his need for a lower bluff. And he's aging before our eyes. And we've decided
Oh my
he
God. Yeah.
he would be very hard to be married to just because he's kind of domineering and he's severe OCD and all this stuff. And then on this flip side, she would also be very hard to be married to because she seems to not always tell the truth. So we think maybe they're a match made in heaven.
She seems, even from what I know about her before the show, like made for reality television.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm like here for it. I will say I don't love a TLC show. So that made me a little like trepidatious about it.
How dare? That's my bread and butter. Love a
I
TLC
mean,
show.
there are definitely some that I like, but and that's what always drove me crazy about 90 Day Fiance is they find such great characters. Like the people are so bonkers, but then every episode is so long and they
Yeah.
repeat the same
Yeah.
stuff, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like get to the good stuff. And
It's
so
not
it
as
just,
fast paced like our housewives. You know, they'll
yeah,
go to 4 events in one episode, and it's a TLC couple will literally be in the car driving for 4 episodes.
yes,
Yes.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So I get like frustrated with it, but this seems like a good, yeah,
It's
version
good.
of it.
It's good. It's good. Today's podcast is sponsored by Roe. Do you want the fastest working GLP ones for half the list price? Yes, Roe has got you. Roe is now offering FDA approved weight loss vials for half the list price of those auto injector pens without implying the insurance or the saving cards. Oh, that is such a nightmare, you guys. I've been doing the GLP ones for about 2 years, and I really wish I would have started with Roe because you don't have to deal with all those insurance cards, all that going to the doctor's office, all that stuff. It is so much easier. And if you're prescribed the GLP-1s, you will lose 15% of your weight on average in a year. The formula from Eli Lilly hits not one, but two hormones to curb hunger and less nausea. That's super important too. If you're prone to nausea like I am, this putting the hormones in that curb the hunger and the nausea is key, in my opinion. Row is weight loss faster, confidence higher, and price cheaper, which to me is a win win win. You can join the over 385,000 people who have already chosen Row to access their GLP 1s. So you can go to row.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. Go to row.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. 15% weight loss is based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or with overweight people with a weight-related conditions on 5 milligrams of medication and when paired with diet and exercise. Half the list price when compared to auto-injector pens and when paying cash without applying insurance or saving cards. Go to row.co/pinkshade to see if you qualified. That's ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. When I think about women who have inspired my makeup look, I think of people like Jennifer Aniston or even like Selena Gomez or Halle Berry. It's sort of a no makeup look for me. It's effortless and easy and not too overdone. That is my look. For over 10 years, Thrive Cosmetics has celebrated the strength and beauty of the women who inspire us most. But it's not just about makeup. It's a commitment to becoming your best self, to thrive in every moment, and to empower others to do the same. Thrive Cosmetics beauty products are certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free. They are made with clean, skin-loving ingredients, high performance and trademark formulas, and uncompromising standards. Did you know that for every product purchased, Thrive Cosmetics donates products and funds to help communities thrive? You guys, in January, Thrive Cosmetics donated 100% of their net proceeds to support wildfire relief in Los Angeles. They raised an incredible $500,000 in one day to donate to the wildfire crisis in LA. You guys, that helped a lot of people. That's amazing. I love all the Thrive products. I love the mascara, but lately what I'm really digging is the Brilliant Eye Brightener. So it's an eyeshadow highlighter stick made to brighten and open your eyes, which will give you like an eye lift. You can apply it to the inner corner of your eyes. That's what I do to look rested and effortless. Some people use it like right on the eye for a daytime glow, or if you get one of the darker shades, you can use it like a smoky eye look. It has a foolproof formula that makes it very easy to apply because I can do it. And they've got 28 shades. So I like the brightener to put it right in the corner of the eye to make your eye open up. But other people can use like a metallic shade for an eyeshadow. And it's very creamy. It just goes on so nice. So celebrate the women in your life with Thrive Cosmetics. It's luxury beauty that gives back. Right now, you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/pinkshade. Okay. Go to Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/pinkshade to get 20% off your first order. Meal kits often market themselves as an easy meal prep solution, but often disappoint with complicated, overlong recipes that aren't worth the effort. Fortunately, Home Chef knows that struggle and delivers fresh, delicious meal kits that respect your time. You guys, lately, I have been so freaking busy recording all of these episodes, all of these extra episodes. And when it comes to dinner time, I am wiped out and I do not have 45 minutes to an hour to cook something for myself or for anybody else. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef #1 in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. This is what I'm talking about. Easy recipes. So whether you prefer the classic meal kits with the pre-portioned ingredients, which I like, but lately they've also got these quick 30-minute recipes, which is saving my life. They also have oven-ready options, which are another lifesaver. They have microwave meals, or they have a dedicated family menu that is, if you've got little kids, sometimes you need to get something different. Home Chef has everything you and your family needs for those hassle-free, delicious dinners. Home Chef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs. Plus, we love this, it's economical. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 a month on groceries. That's a lot of money. And when meal planning ends up being on the back burner, check out Home Chef's new 5-ingredient meals that simplify prep with super easy recipe steps using 5 fresh pre-portioned ingredients. Y'all, you can get in the kitchen, you can pull it out of the fridge, you can prep it in 10 minutes, pop it in the oven, and you've got dinner on the table and everybody's happy, okay? For a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/pinkshade. That's homechef.com/pinkshade for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/pinkshade. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert.
Okay.
Okay, now do you watch The White Lotus over there?
Of course, that
Okay.
we get. We have to wait till Monday, but we get it.
Okay, thoughts on this current season?
I'm enjoying it, and I've seen a lot of people online and just talking to me, um, you know, anecdotally that they think it's a little bit slow, and
It's always slow.
that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
I think the difference is, I think it's just as slow. I feel like this season isn't as funny. And so I think that last season we had, Jennifer Coolidge to distract us. We had the manager of the hotel who was really funny. So we had we had laughs to kind of make us forget that it was going slow. But I, unlike so many other showrunners, I trust the journey we're going on, and I can start to feel the tension of bad things are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. So I'm hopeful.
I think Parker Posey is our Jennifer Coolidge for the season, right?
Oh my God. I have been such a fan of hers for so many years. Party Girl was one of my favorite movies, like back in the 90s. Like, I've always been a huge fan. So I was so excited to see her on the show, and I'm ready for her to really give it to us. And I also love that we found out Mike White wanted them to model that family on Southern Charm, which is like such a good, and those three girlfriends are so like the Tres Amigas. It's like so Housewives. Like, I feel like we're really in a reality TV sweet spot this season.
Yeah, that's a good point. The three friends are, I was looking at, so Michelle Monaghan, I was kind of like, God, I know, like, her face is so recognizable, but I can't figure out. I watched the show on Hulu a couple of years ago called The Path, and it was about like a cult, and she was like the wife, and it was really good. She was an cute little Aaron, what's his name from Breaking Bad?
Did you watch Bad Monkey on Apple with Vince Vaughn?
No, I have that like saved in my thing for one day if I have extra time, which I never will. But yeah,
she's in that too, and she's really good. That's actually a pretty good, cute show when you're looking for stuff.
I went and looked up her sunglasses that she was wearing in this last episode when they were getting escorted by the kids in the street and stuff. I went and looked it up. I was like, I love those sunglasses. I gotta find them. They're very, very, very hard. French designer. It was hard to find them. And then I found they were like between $800 and $2,000. And I was like, you know what? Ooh. I think that unless I tried them on and they changed my face for the better, then no, but I'll never be able to try them on because I don't sell them anywhere.
Yeah. Sunglasses are hard to buy on the internet.
Yeah. You get them and you're like, oh, poor me that I thought this would be cute.
Yeah, right. Like, you really need to see them on before.
It wasn't good.
I mean, Mary, the sunglasses, $2,000, $25,000.
They're from France. They were $800. I might be going to France in April. Maybe I can look for them when I go.
I mean, check it out. Then you won't have to pay the tariff out of me.
That's right. I love a tax-free sitch.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you watch Love is Blind?
No, I kind of, Love is Blind got a little too much for me. And so it was like every season I would start and I'd be like, oh, I can't. And I think my problem is I love the crazy people and I love watching them break up. I hate getting through all of the romance to get there. All of the, oh my God, we're soulmates. I never thought I'd meet somebody who I love so much, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, ugh, maybe I should just start like once they're out of the pods, or maybe once they get home. Once they get
Yeah.
home is when it starts like going
Falling
down, you
apart.
know?
It did
Yeah.
this season. It's interesting because they shoot this a whole year in advance. So when we meet them at their reunion, they've all the people that are married have been married 1 year. So I'm like, first of all, that's hard to keep that secret for a year. That like
Yeah.
that you got married. People, by the way, we'd already looked up the marriage certificates. There was like a TikTok girl spilling secrets. Like it's a whole thing. It's such a, and I understand like production and all that, but
Yeah.
they filmed it a year ago and we've seen so much on the internet before it comes out, and then they don't address some of this. Like one guy on there was, allegedly had been very into, young girls. And
Ooh.
that was sort of
Yeah.
everybody knew it. And then he's on
Like
the
young, like illegal young, or just young?
illegally young.
Oh,
Like
okay.
like come to my apartment, I'll give you free guitar lessons. 16-year-old. Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
no, ma'am.
And so, but it's never addressed on the reunion. They're like, well, maybe I go, no, they filmed the reunion like within the last 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
this shit's been since the first episode dropped, people were saying that. Like, oh, well, we know who this guy is.
Yeah.
And then they
Well,
just don't address it. There's things they just like don't address at the reunion. And you're like, doesn't give me any juice from the squeeze. Like, you're not going to address, did these two people ever have sex? We talked about it for 10 episodes,
right. Well, also the Lachey's are terrible reunion hosts and terrible hosts in general. But during the show, they don't have much to do. But at the reunion, it's their big job, and they won't ask the tough questions. They won't hold people accountable. They need like an Andy or somebody else up in there who's going to be like, "Girl, really?"
Who's paying attention and will ask follow-up questions.
Yes.
Did you watch Love Is Blind UK? Because that was really good.
I don't know. I'm having a hard time with like straight people romance shows.
Well, Love Is Blind UK was really good.
Okay, I'll check it out. People love that here. There's also Married at First Sight UK that people love. I'm a big Love Island fan, so I'm waiting for Love Island to start again. And I watched a bunch of Love Island All Stars this winter, which was pretty good. And I like that, on there, everybody's a little bit older. They've been through this before. So, yeah. And everybody's hot on Love Island. They're always naked. I'm just like, yes, that's what I want.
I only watched one season of that, and it was Love Island UK season 3. And that's the only season I ever watched because somebody was like, you just have to. And if you're going to, and I was like, I don't have time, but I'll watch one season. Tell me which one's the best. And this season 3. So I watched it, and I loved it.
Yeah, it's really good. And here it's great when it's on in the summer because it's like an hour every day, and so like you just get into the groove of it. And I love it. But they've had some they started a gay dating show here. It's basically like a gay Love Island where there's a villa and they have everybody kind of come in and like match up. And they did a season called I Kissed a Boy with all boys. And then last year they did a season I Kissed a Girl, which is girls. And so I hope that we get another one of those because those are really fun. And then I'm like, okay, I like it because it's gay people.
I would like it too.
Yeah.
Let's quickly, I want to talk to you about what happened on the Potomac reunion.
Yeah.
Now, Mia has said, she enjoyed the journey, but she's quitting. Does anybody believe that she's quitting?
I believe that Mia thinks she's quitting, but I don't think Bravo thinks Mia is quitting.
Okay. I was wondering because they always say they always say it's their choice. They let them, except for Dorinda. Dorinda's the only one who's like, no, they put me on pause. But Mia, of course, for us, the viewer, we're like, oh my God, she's terrible. Why is she on TV? But was what she did so egregious that they would fire her? Or is it because she walked off the reunion?
I think it's a combination of walking off the reunion, but I think Bravo's taking a lot of things into account when they're deciding hiring and firing. Some of it is what they call they do these social sentiment reports, which are how people online feel about the different women.
Yeah.
And, they're taking how fans feel about it. And I think the fans were all really frustrated with Mia. And I think So I think that was a strike against her. But I think the bigger strike is all of the women are done with her and they
Mhm.
can't believe a thing she says. We can't believe a thing she says. The story's always changing. It's always crazy. It's always ornate and you can't quite put your finger on it. And I
Right.
think that was really the kiss of death because if none of the women want to film with her and none of them are going to believe her, then she's not going to have any real relationships with them and it's not going to be interesting. And so I feel like with the cast that they have, I mean, Stacey was a great new addition. I would love
Mhm.
to see Kay for another season without Karen around, maybe give her a little bit more attention now that Mia's not sucking the air out of the room.
Yeah.
So I think that they're going to have a really good cast going forward. But yeah,
Mm.
I think most of us, from what I've heard talking to other fans, were done with Mia.
Yeah. She was nice to me at BravoCon. Um,
Oh, I bet she's
th-
lovely.
yeah,
Oh my
she's
God,
so gentle. So
a
gentle.
friend of mine sent me a TikTok of Mia on Say Yes to the Dress.
Yes, I saw that too.
Oh my God, with like a whole new face.
It's like the face
And-
version one. Yeah.
yeah, and oh my God, yeah. And she had all of her bridesmaids. Jacqueline was not there.
Where's Jacqueline?
Where's
Where is she?
Jacqueline? They've been friends since high school. Where's Jacqueline? I don't know. Yeah. And that's what Mia is so and also I think that she made all of Mia's drama was very Jerry Springer. Like it
Yeah,
was,
yeah, good point.
it wasn't like. And when Karen said Mia's not Potomac, I think that's what she meant, and I think Karen was right. That was the only thing Karen was right about the whole entire season.
Yeah. Karen. Oh God, Karen. Meal kits often market themselves as an easy meal prep solution, but often disappoint with complicated, overlong recipes that aren't worth the effort. Fortunately, Home Chef knows that struggle and delivers fresh, delicious meal kits that respect your time. You guys, lately, I have been so freaking busy recording all of these episodes, all of these extra episodes. When it comes to dinner time, I am wiped out and I do not have 45 minutes to an hour to cook something for myself or for anybody else. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef number one in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. This is what I'm talking about. Easy recipes. So, whether you prefer the classic meal kits with the pre portioned ingredients, which I like, but lately they've also got these quick 30-minute recipes, which is saving my life. They also have oven ready options, which are another lifesaver. They have microwave meals, or they have a dedicated family menu that is, if you've got little kids, sometimes you need to get something different. Home Chef has everything you and your family needs for those hassle-free, delicious dinners. Home Chef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs. Plus, we love this, it's economical. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 a month on groceries. That's a lot of money. And when meal planning ends up being on the back burner, check out Home Chef's new 5 ingredient meals that simplify prep with super easy recipe steps using 5 fresh pre-portioned ingredients. Y'all, you can get in the kitchen, you can pull it out of the fridge, you can prep it in 10 minutes, pop it in the oven, and you've got dinner on the table and everybody's happy, okay? For a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/pinkshade. That's homechef.com/pinkshade for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/pinkshade. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. When I think about women who have inspired my makeup look, I think of people like Jennifer Aniston or even like Selena Gomez or Halle Berry. It's sort of a no makeup look for me. It's effortless and easy and not too overdone. That is my look. For over 10 years, Thrive Cosmetics has celebrated the strength and beauty of the women who inspire us most. But it's not just about makeup. It's a commitment to becoming your best self, to thrive in every moment, and to empower others to do the same. Thrive Cosmetics beauty products are certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free. They are made with clean, skin-loving ingredients, high performance and trademark formulas, and uncompromising standards. Did you know that for every product purchased, Thrive Cosmetics donates products and funds to help communities thrive? You guys, in January, Thrive Cosmetics donated 100% of their net proceeds to support wildfire relief in Los Angeles. They raised an incredible $500,000 in one day to donate to the wildfire crisis in LA. You guys, that helped a lot of people. That's amazing. I love all the Thrive products. I love the mascara, but lately what I'm really digging is the Brilliant Eye Brightener. So it's an eyeshadow highlighter stick made to brighten and open your eyes, which will give you like an eye lift. You can apply it to the inner corner of your eyes. That's what I do to look arrested and effortless. Some people use it like right on the eye for a daytime glow, or if you get one of the darker shades, you can use it like a smoky eye look. It has a foolproof formula that makes it very easy to apply because I can do it. And they've got 28 shades. So I like the brightener to put it right in the corner of the eye to make your eye open up. But other people can use like a metallic shade for an eyeshadow. And it's very creamy. It just goes on so nice. So celebrate the women in your life with Thrive Cosmetics. It's luxury beauty that gives back. Right now, you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/pinkshade. Okay. Go to Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/pinkshade to get 20% off your first order. Today's podcast is sponsored by Ro. Do you want the fastest working GLP-1s for half the list price? Yes, Ro has got you. Ro is now offering FDA-approved weight loss vials for half the list price of those auto-injector pens without implying the insurance or the saving cards. Oh, that is such a nightmare, you guys. I've been doing the GLP-1s for about 2 years, and I really wish I would have started with Ro because you don't have to deal with all those insurance cards, all that going to the doctor's office, all that stuff. It is so much easier. And if you're prescribed the GLP-1s, you will lose 15% of your weight on average in a year. The formula from Eli Lilly hits not one, but two hormones to curb hunger and less nausea. That's super important too. If you're prone to nausea like I am, this putting the hormones in that curb the hunger and the nausea is key, in my opinion. Ro is weight loss faster, confidence higher, and price cheaper, which to me is win-win-win. You can join the over 385,000 people who have already chosen Ro to access their GLP-1s. So you can go to ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. Go to ro.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. 15% weight loss is based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or with overweight people with weight-related conditions on 5 milligrams of medication and when paired with diet and exercise. Half the list price when compared to auto-injector pens and when paying cash without applying insurance or saving cards. Go to ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualified. That's ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. Um, Now the Stacy and TJ situation, that last reunion, when Andy just moved over to the couch and was like, let's just sit down, let me show you what's on my phone.
Yeah.
That was great. And Stacy kept going, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see what he said. Bring it out, bring it out. Where's Eddie? Bring out Eddie. I love it. I was like, girl, the way that Wendy looked over at her and goes, the way they're going to roll that footage on
Oh
your
my
ass.
God. Yes, she said it like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, I'm gonna get that tattooed. Like, it was so funny. Wendy be like, they're gonna roll that tape on you, girl. And
Yeah.
you, like, Wendy knew what was
And
happening.
Stacey's like, it's fine. I didn't do anything wrong. And she doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on Watch What Happens Live. I think she was with one of the ladies from the doctors, Dr. Simone from Married to Medicine. And even Dr. Simone was sort of like, a girl. I mean, she was like trying to call her out with Andy, and Stacey's just like, no, I don't understand what this is about. This is not true. And Andy goes, if there is a Zelle, if there is a Venmo, there's a Cash App, if there's a time you went to Target and paid half his bill, he's going to bring all of that out. And she goes, there's nothing to bring out. I never paid for one thing ever. So
I believe that, but I also don't believe this was a real relationship. Like, no. And when Andy was questioning her on the reunion, like, did you pay for his plane ticket? Did you
right.
like,
Just
I
anything.
could, Right. I don't think she was like, I'm going to give you a check for $50,000. Come be my boyfriend.
Right.
But I think that she was like, come pretend to be my boyfriend. You'll get exposure. I'll get a storyline and we'll like make it work.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she might be truthful about the fact that she didn't pay him. But I mean, put him in the Hall of Fame of fake boyfriends right next to Kenya's old friend Walter,
Yeah.
because girl, I'm not believing that relationship for a second.
Which Dr. Simone said Walter is her husband's nephew.
No.
Yes, and because I don't watch Married to Medicine, but the husband was sitting there, and she goes, Walter is his nephew, and Andy's like, what? Yes.
Oh
Crazy.
my God. Yeah, I give justice for Walter. Get Walter up on here. Well, that's the thing I don't understand is the truth is always better.
Yeah,
like
generally, yeah.
Like, if she was like, I can't date anybody, I can't show my husband and my kid because my husband said I can't. I'm not dating anybody because I'm still,
married.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we would have found other things for her to do rather than fake, corny TJ.
Yeah. Oh, God. The funniest thing on Watch What Happens Live was they put up the picture of TJ on Watch What Happens Live in that mesh blouse he was wearing.
Well, yeah.
And they asked her best friend AJ was there.
Yes.
And he's a gay guy. And they asked him, what did you think about this look? And he says, I think he's the kind of gentleman that would wear that shirt.
Exactly. I mean, girl, that's the thing. You don't even need to read him for it. You just need to be like, yeah, look, judge for yourself, guys.
Oh, so funny. And Andy goes, okay.
Yeah, right. Moving on.
All right, let's talk about Beverly Hills this week. Now, I had a glitch in the matrix in my house, and this has happened to me recently where I have something on my DVR so I can watch it like that night. So the next morning on Peacock, have it on the DVR. Something happens in my house, a glitch. So it like records 48 minutes. Then there's a 2-minute gap and it records like the last 8 minutes of the show. So Kyle and Mauricio are in the kitchen and finally they bring up about him kissing the girl in the Mykonos airport. And she's like, I know you didn't call paparazzi, but I don't know if this person did or whatever. And it was hurtful. And he's like, yeah, I'm really sorry you had to see that. And then a chunk of it goes missing. I have to go to the next thing, click it. And then I just see Kyle and Mauricio and she's crying and hugging. And I was like, oh my God, what happened?
You didn't miss anything.
Okay,
and that's what I feel like we're a car stuck in the mud with this. Like we're just spinning the tires, spewing mud all over everybody and not moving forward at all. And Kyle keeps saying like, oh, the pictures for me really changed something. But girl, you're still not filed. You're still not divorced. If you're dating anybody, it's Morgan, which you won't talk about.
Right.
So like what has really changed? You deleted wife out of your Instagram bio. Good for you.
Right. Yeah. I do like the bringing Kathy in just for some bitchy shade. Just Kathy, like he couldn't afford to pay anybody,
Yeah. Well, and I love Kathy being like, do you want to find out who leak those pictures? Because I will. And Kathy would. And Kathy should have done that service for all of us. I think Kyle's right. It was, and that was my initial reaction, was it was that girlfriend trying to force him to do something about Kyle.
That, or it was literally somebody like me on vacation. It was like, oh my God. And get my camera out and call TMZ and say, go, how much will you give me for this?
Yeah. Right. Girl, I would have given it to CMC for free. You're like, here, please tell the world. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, girl, it's the Mykonos airport. You know what that is full of? Gays. And you know what gays are going to do? Take a picture of Mauricio kissing some girl. So,
totally. So, Dorit and PK met this week. And I got to say, did you think his hair looked better?
I think all of him looked better. I don't know if he's working out, if he's eating better, if it's not drinking, if it's Ozempic, like what it is. But I was like, is PK kind of handsome? And then I immediately hated myself. But for a minute, I was like, oh, you look good. You look good, PK.
I think because of the not drinking, he's less puffy.
Yeah.
and his hair just looked thicker. Now, I don't think he had a hair transplant or anything because he still got like white old man hair, but his hair looked thicker. He looked better. And I think it is a lot of this sort of the detoxing of the system where
Yeah.
listen, we know he hasn't had any plastic surgery. We've been begging him since season 1 to get something done.
Right.
But I liked their conversation. It seemed a little more civil. And I was glad to see that because what she said when they went to Kathy's dinner at the Capri room / Cape Kathy's balcony,
Yeah.
that she was saying he's kind of pushing this 10-year narrative, right?
Yeah.
Well, she didn't realize it, and Erica did. So I'm glad to see at this thing he's not like, well, we really need to get divorced by September because that'll be 10 years. You know what I mean?
Well, and if we kind of do the math, they were filming like July-ish. And if that was, like she said, 9.5 years, we should be past the 10-year mark. But also, I mean, we know those finances are a house of cards. So what is she trying to get half of? His debts?
Well, I
mean,
like when she was trying to ask him about the email that, said all the mean things, when he goes, oh, you're only going to talk about part of the email? Like he's trying to say, we're on camera and I will say the other things in that email.
But that's what I didn't like about the conversation is it seemed to be like low-level threats or at least negotiation tactics where he's saying like, we can do this amicably, but if we don't, here's what's going to happen. And like him saying like, if you don't do what I say and do this amicably, I'm going to do it the hard way that I told you in that email. And to me, that seems like a level of hardball I don't like.
It's an interesting power dynamic between those two because she's the one with the full-time job that makes money.
100%.
And we don't know. I mean, I do know from a friend that works in Vegas in the gambling industry that, all that stuff is true. He did have like millions of dollars of debts at these casinos, high roller stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And well, I've been joking that I'm going to start a GoFundMe. And the GoFundMe is so that we can hire Dorit, a forensic accountant, so that they can figure out everything, where all the money is, where all the debts are, whatever. But if she wants the money, then she needs to make that report public because I want to know where the money is. I want to know. I want the facts and figures. Give me a spreadsheet.
Unless she's a part of it. Unless she's a part of it, Brian.
Well, she's definitely a part of it. Is the problem? If she's a
part of it, then she doesn't. That's what you're saying is the low-level threats of like, if you don't do it my way, then I am going to put out the spreadsheet that Brian Moylan wants.
Yeah, and I would love that spreadsheet. My parents are both accountants.
Brian knows a guy.
Mom, what does this mean?
Yeah. Bose and Keely. Now, Bose has this new confessional look, which was like all black, and looks incredible.
Yeah.
Bose and Keely, is this a TJ situation? I don't think so, but they're talking about moving in before or after you get married. This man has never told you he loves you.
Yeah.
I don't understand this.
No, and it's not something my husband says to me often, but at the point in our relationship that they're at now, he had already said it. So, I get it.
Talking marriage and a baby and moving in together, but she's like,
exactly.
I am building towards the understanding that he loves me. What?
I just don't. I think they're for real. They seem like a real couple to me. He seems like a great guy, and into her, but the baby stuff I think might be inflated or fake or whatever, because it was already enough when she was like, I want another baby. And I was like, do you know how old you are? Right. And then when the more we learned that she had a miscarriage, that her pregnancies in her 30s were difficult. Terrible. It's like, what do you think this is going to do? And also, I mean, to this guy, if it's really important to you to have several of your children that are biological, then either A, you missed the boat, or B, you need a younger woman. Or C,
Or
you have to think about adopting or surrogacy or whatever because
surrogacy. That's what I'm thinking. They clearly are rich enough they can afford a surrogate.
yeah. And so I don't understand. So this whole storyline from the beginning, I've been like, yawn, I don't care
Yeah.
about this, and
Yeah.
I don't like believe it. And at least Diana Jenkins had a baby at like 49 or whatever. We didn't have to like see it and hear about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she talked about being pregnant a lot. I feel like she had another baby. Didn't she have like
Yeah.
two little babies and she's like 50 years old?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
Diana
because she
Jenkins.
had one on the show and then she had one after
Right.
the show.
Wow. See, I mean, well, never mind. All right. So
Yeah, she's gone. We don't need to talk
we
shit
don't
about
talk
her
about her. Okay.
anymore.
Now they go at the end of the episode to this resort, the Windjammer something something in St. Lucia. Now, Lucia, see, it's hard for me to say that word too. St.
Lucia.
Lucia,
Yeah. Lucia.
Lucia, St.
Should we just call
Lucia.
it St. Luanne, named after the countess? They're in St. Luanne's, falling into bushes.
Did you notice they had a police escort going into that?
I 100% did. I was like, damn. But I guess when you're in St. Lucia, they're like visiting dignitaries.
I
You
guess
know what I
so.
mean?
Mhm.
Like, yeah, of course they did. I clocked that. And then the band, I was like, that is the way to welcome them, honey.
I looked up that resort because it would I always do when they go to resorts. So I'm always like,
Yes.
I would like to go to that resort. So I always do this. I looked it up last night. The show, I had just turned it off my DVR. I was only 20 minutes behind the show actually airing. And you go on that website and they already have a Real Housewives package up for you to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get lots of, you might too, like PR emails now of like, our hotel is about to be on the Housewives, book the package, here's the links, blah, blah, blah. And so, and that's the thing about Housewives that people might not understand is they move products.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
those
Yeah.
ugly leather pants sold out. You know, people are
Yeah.
going to those resorts, people are booking these trips. And so, yeah, it's worth it for them to be on these shows. Have you ever gone to like one of the resorts that they've been to?
I have, it'll take me a second to come up with it, and it might even take me a day. But there is a resort somewhere on that they went to that I was like, wait a minute, I've been there. And there might be more than one. So they've definitely done oh God, it's going to come to me. Grand Vilas. They did Grand Vilas in the Cancun area, and I've
Yeah.
done Grand Vilas in Puerto Vallarta over there closer to Mexico side. And amazing. It was all inclusive. And generally, I'm kind of, past the all inclusive point in my life. But we went a couple of years ago because everybody said, like, it's all inclusive, but it doesn't feel like it's really good. The food was excellent. It
Oh,
was,
good.
the whole place was incredible. We loved it. Every single time I look it up, every single time, I generally also report on the prices of how much it costs per room.
Yeah.
And this place, Windjammer in St. Lucia. Why can't I say it?
Lucia.
Lucia. Why can't I say it? Oh my God. Okay. Saint Luanne. When those rooms are pretty inexpensive.
Really?
Like you could get just like a regular room for like $300 a night.
No.
Yes, and they have other
Wow.
rooms.
Okay.
Yeah, other rooms as you're going up with like a better view or some that have a pool, or then you go
Right.
into the villas and stuff. You're getting into closer to like 800, 2,000, 4,000. And the most expensive one is like 4,000 a night. And that's like the presidential villa with like four
Right.
bedrooms and a pool.
Yeah. Like you could pay $4,000 a night for a shitty room in New York City.
Totally. I mean, you get three friends. That's a party. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it looked legit. I was into it.
Great.
Like the villas look good. So
Now I want to go there. Yeah.
I'll meet you there.
When I think about women who have inspired my makeup look, I think of people like Jennifer Aniston or even like Selena Gomez or Halle Berry. It's sort of a no makeup look for me. It's effortless and easy and not too overdone. That is my look. For over 10 years, Thrive Cosmetics has celebrated the strength and beauty of the women who inspire us most. But it's not just about makeup. It's a commitment to becoming your best self, to thrive in every moment, and to empower others to do the same. Thrive Cosmetics beauty products are certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free. They are made with clean, skin-loving ingredients, high performance and trademark formulas, and uncompromising standards. Did you know that for every product purchased, Thrive Cosmetics donates products and funds to help communities thrive? You guys, in January, Thrive Cosmetics donated 100% of their net proceeds to support wildfire relief in Los Angeles. They raised an incredible $500,000 in one day to donate to the wildfire crisis in LA. You guys, that helped a lot of people. That's amazing. I love all the Thrive products. I love the mascara, but lately what I'm really digging is the Brilliant Eye Brightener. So it's an eyeshadow highlighter stick made to brighten and open your eyes, which will give you like an eye lift. You can apply it to the inner corner of your eyes. That's what I do to look arrested and effortless. Some people use it like right on the eye for a daytime glow, or if you get one of the darker shades, you can use it like a smoky eye look. It has a foolproof formula that makes it very easy to apply because I can do it. And they've got 28 shades. So I like the brightener to put it right in the corner of the eye to make your eye open up. But other people can use like a metallic shade for an eyeshadow. And it's very creamy. It just goes on so nice. So celebrate the women in your life with Thrive Cosmetics. It's luxury beauty that gives back. Right now, you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/pinkshade. Okay. Go to Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/pinkshade to get 20% off your first order. Today's podcast is sponsored by Ro. Do you want the fastest working GLP-1s for half the list price? Yes, Ro has got you. Ro is now offering FDA approved weight loss vials for half the list price of those auto injector pens without implying the insurance or the saving cards. Oh, that is such a nightmare, you guys. I've been doing the GLP-1s for about 2 years, and I really wish I would have started with Ro because you don't have to deal with all those insurance cards, all that going to the doctor's office, all that stuff. It is so much easier. And if you're prescribed the GLP-1s, you will lose 15% of your weight on average in a year. The formula from Eli Lilly hits not one, but two hormones to curb hunger and less nausea. That's super important too. If you're prone to nausea like I am, this putting the hormones in that curb the hunger and the nausea is key, in my opinion. Ro is weight loss faster, confidence higher, and price cheaper, which to me is a win-win-win. You can join the over 385,000 people who have already chosen Ro to access their GLP-1s. So you can go to ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. Go to ro.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. 15% weight loss is based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or with overweight people with a weight-related conditions on 5 milligrams of medication and when paired with diet and exercise. Half the list price when compared to auto-injector pens and when paying cash without applying insurance or saving cards. Go to ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualified. That's ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. Now, quickly, are you caught up on Southern Charm?
I am caught up on Southern Charm.
Drunk show.
Do you want to go to the Baha Mar Resort and Casino?
Okay, in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Yes, I might like to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
I might, because for us here, Bahamas are hop, skip, and a jump.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like less than a 2-hour flight. You get right on over. Yeah, I'd like to go there. I don't want to go to the Atlantis. I've been to the Atlantis, and that is too much for me. Too much. But Baha Mar seems small and doable.
Yeah, and they have a water slides concierge, as we learned on Real Housewives of Miami.
Yeah, when we went, the kids and my husband were nonstop on those water slides. They have at the Atlantis, they have the water slide where you go through like a thing. It's like sharks on either side of you. And I was just in my chair going, I hope you guys are enjoying that because I won't be doing
good luck.
Good luck. But okay, so Drunk Shep. Okay. Drunk Shep needs rehab. He doesn't need the fake kind like Karen went to. He actually
No.
needs to put himself in a place for 90 days.
He seems to need something, especially because it seemed like getting yelled at BravoCon might have been his rock bottom,
Might,
but
but apparently not.
no, apparently not. And that's what's concerning is exactly what Craig said is the only way you have to deal with your emotions is getting wasted. That doesn't
Mhm.
seem like a very good strategy. And so, yeah, he also always seemed to have some anger management issues
Yeah,
that we've
I think
seen.
that's the up and the down, right? It's like the Adderall
Yeah.
and the drinking or the cocaine allegedly and the
Yeah.
drinking, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you are absolutely correct on that. And yeah, but I've been joking that Leva is our only reality television personality who's allowed to work from home full time. But I did enjoy what she said about how, there are these guys in their 40s and they meet these young girls and they're so much better than at the game. And that's the first time they feel old. And that
Mm,
is like what starts to change. And I'm hoping that this whole thing with Sienna was real and that Shep was like, oh, I'm too old to be doing this. I need to figure some things out. But let's see whether or not that happens. But I also didn't like everyone pushing Molly on him.
yeah,
It's like no. And also you don't want to start dating with a guy who just had his heart broken. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
I
that
also
all
don't
seems
like
stupid.
Molly's like, I mean, I'll take Whitney. I mean, he called me fat, but I'll take him. I'll take Shep. You know what? I was like, Molly, you're better than everybody. You don't need to just take the leftovers. What are you next going to be like? I'll take JT. No.
No. Oh my God. The worst thing that ever happened to anyone on a reality show was when Vanita was like, I have feelings for you, and JT was like, I have a girlfriend. I was like, oh my God, JT. That was terrible. How dare you do that to her?
Now, and I've seen some chatter online about that, about the timeline of him having a girlfriend and Vanita like saying like, absolutely, he never told me he had a girlfriend and we're
Yes.
best friends and he never told me this. The girlfriend has come out and said, no, here's a picture of us together. She absolutely knew. So I don't know. I haven't followed it enough to know what's happening with that mess.
I, yeah, I feel like because Vanita, I didn't really believe that they were best friends, but
A-
also
She
the
acts like
people
they've been
he
best friends since birth. She's like, he's my best friend. I'm like, since when? That
Yeah,
guy?
right.
Yeah.
But I feel like the people who he talked to on the show, including Leva and some others, like didn't seem to know about this girlfriend. So if I mean, I believe that he was dating her,
Yeah.
but for yeah, I don't think he was talking about her to people, and so I think
No.
that her existence was a bit of a surprise. So I don't think he's faking, but it also seemed a little bit weird to me that if you're not at the point where you're telling other people about this girlfriend, how serious are you that you can't also date somebody else?
Yeah.
You know?
Who's the hot guy that's married to the doctor? The guy that's just there and he's just regular
Ryan,
Ryan. So he's just like hot and there, but has adds nothing.
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 Absolutely nothing.
Um
And yeah, oh my God. At least Rodrigo gives us like something. He usually
yeah.
has like a funny line or like a little quip and
Yep.
he's funny in a confessional. Like great. Ryan is giving us nothing but abs,
Yep.
which,
I mean, and
is
I'm
something to give.
and I'm interested in his hairline. I'm interested in what's happening up on the head. Is it a transplant? Is it a draw on? Like it doesn't seem like that's his hair.
I would be interested in having dinner with him and his partner, just mostly
Yeah.
because they're hot.
They're both
Also,
hot.
but at least Rodrigo and the husband are hot and fun.
Yeah, Rodrigo seems real sleepy all the time, but
A little.
he does jump in with something funny. Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Um, Now the last part of Southern Charm, first of all, everybody was so sunburned. I was like, "What, you guys? It's just
Oh
not
my
that hard to put
God.
on some sunscreen. What are you doing?"
No. I mean, couldn't production be like, girl, we don't want you red?
And we can't like, I don't know what kind of filter we're gonna have to put on this, but the last scene was Craig talking to Austin, saying like, "Look, here's the thing. I had that Adderall problem, obviously, that we saw for years, like Jax with the Coke. Like, yeah, we know. We don't have to tell us. Um, And, then I had, this drinking problem, and I really like credit Paige with sticking by me and all that, which was all very sweet and also, sad. Excuse me. But I thought it was very interesting, Craig kind of coming clean with all that. And I think that's probably another reason, like, Craig finds it hard to be around these guys. He's not trying to be, Beaver Cleaver's dad or whatever. He's just trying to be like, this isn't like a personality I've created. This is like who I'm trying to be. I'm trying to like actually be in business. I'm trying to actually not drink. I thought it was sweet.
Well, and I thought it was really interesting when he said, I'm not trying to convince the world I'm this guy. I'm trying to convince myself I'm this guy. And
Yeah.
I thought that that was a really good insight into Craig. But my problem with that scene is he's doing this whole thing holding a half empty champagne bottle.
He was the whole trip I saw him having drinks. And so I
Yeah,
don't think he's ever said I don't drink anymore.
right.
He's never said that. And Shep has said, I only drink beer, which living with a recovering alcoholic, I can tell you, these are all just excuses that I'm going to put a Band-Aid on it. Right.
Absolutely. 100%.
But I think Craig is like, okay, I can hold a glass of champagne. And maybe in his mind, he's like, I don't even like champagne. So I'm going to hold this because I'm going to I won't really drink it so much. But yeah, I mean, I think Andy's going to bring all this up on the reunion. He's going to bring like, well, Shep, here we are again.
Yeah. No,
You know?
and absolutely, well, and especially with Craig, because I can get if you're like, oh, my drinking got out of control for a while, and so I had to stay home and like pare back, but now I'm in a good place and I can moderate, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's not what he's saying. He's saying like, I'm an addict and I was afraid I was going to become an alcoholic while he's like half drunk. That seemed a little odd to me.
And the good thing is that unlike Love is Blind reunions, we're going to get some answers, I think.
100%. And I can't wait to hear them, honestly.
Now this is a bad Pop and Bravo episode in that I was unable to watch the premiere of Atlanta. I'm going to watch it today. That's on my list for today.
I'm waiting to see what happens with Kenya Moore, and I'll probably write something about it in my newsletter because I love Kenya. She's one of my favorite housewives, and I feel like she's being done dirty. But
we'll see.
I'm waiting to see how the whole thing plays out before I comment on it. But I liked the episode. There seems to be a lot of new energy. There was a lot of new people to meet, which, made it a little bit hard, but also enough old people that it was interesting. So I'm engaged again in a way that I haven't been in years in Atlanta.
How many new people do we have?
Oh my gosh. I want to say like 4.
No, that's too many.
Well, and Shamia, we know, but like not in the way that, she's front and center in the whole episode. Yeah. And they seem to be really trying to be like reframing it on Shamia, which isn't the worst idea. And, she is close with Portia and their dynamic together is great. And I'm glad to see Portia back. But yeah, trying to introduce all these women. And it seems like a couple of them are coming out of the gate a little hot, trying to make drama that's a little... and it's like, girl, just show up, be yourself. The drama will find you. Like, don't try to make it happen. Especially one of them, I think her name is Kelly. I'm working on everybody's names a bit. Yeah. But, Kelly talks some shade about Portia. And it's like, do not come for a professional like Portia.
No,
she is gonna hand you your ass, girl.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did we see Phaedra?
No, because I don't think Phaedra comes in until like the end. We do see Cynthia, Portia, Drew, who I hate.
I don't like Drew either.
No, and I'm surprised she survived. But
me too. After that singing at that last reunion.
Oh my God.
And then I hope they're divorced.
No, he's living in the basement.
Okay. That's where he needs to be. Okay. All right.
Well, My problem with Drew is the same problem I have with Mia is I don't believe a thing she says. It's a little too Jerry Springer. Like I'm just not like
Good
here
point.
for it. Well, and then the drama in the premiere is she's supposedly dating Dennis, Portia's ex.
The hot dog king?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, there's got to be some other guys in Atlanta. You don't have to go for that.
I know it seems a little John Jansen, if I'm being honest.
Mhm. And I
Yeah.
I am interested in the whole trajectory of Portia's marriage to this guy Simon, and then of course now I think he's been deported.
Yeah. He's in ICE custody currently, but
Jeez.
we know where that's going.
That'll be because she's posted like, don't be shady and you won't get put in ICE custody. So I'm interested in that. I'm interested in the whole Kenya thing of do we meet the person that she exposes with like the blowjob pictures or whatever?
We do, and we see them kind of get off to a bit of a rocky start. I
Okay.
think because Britt is her name,
Brett.
I think
Okay.
is trying a little too hard also to make drama. And that is why you do not come for a Kenya Moore. She will flatten you. She will show up with the Kenya Moore hair care band
Yes.
and she will destroy you.
She used to let me
So
show a blowjob picture of you to a camera crew. Yeah.
yeah, which I can't wait for.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, Brian, thank you for doing this with me. Tell everybody where they can find you. You're an amazing writer. You're so funny. So tell everybody where they can find you, your book, all the things.
So I have a book called The Housewives, The Real Story Behind the Real Housewives. That's available everywhere books are sold. I believe it's like $1 on Audible if you want to hear me read it.
Oh, fun.
Um,
That's fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a newsletter called the Housewives Institute Bulletin. That's every 2 weeks. It comes out this Friday. I have an interview on Friday with Dolores Catania about the traders.
Love.
I talk about Southern hospitality and some other stuff. So you can sign up for that at vulture.com/housewives.
Mhm.
And I'm currently recapping Southern Charm, Summer House, Beverly Hills, and Survivor of all things.
Really?
Vulture.com, and those go up right after the episodes finish airing on the East Coast. So when you're done watching, go right over to Vulture and you can read my thoughts and jokes.
Yeah, very funny. A lot of times, in a normal situation, if I wouldn't have been able to watch Atlanta and I was recording with somebody, I would quickly go and read your article. And then I'd be like, okay, now I know what happened.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pretend.
Yeah, and now I know who that I'm not supposed to like, etc. Like
Yeah.
Brian has told me. Yeah, everybody subscribe to that and go over to Vulture, and the recaps over there are great. Vulture's just great all around. So
Thank you.
yeah, if they charge you like $1 a month or something, sometimes they do. I can't remember. Whatever, I'm signed up for it,
It's
but
like $5. It's cheap.
it's very
I'm worth
minimal.
it. I'm worth it.
Alone, Brian Moylan alone is $5. But you get all the content over there. I don't work for Vulture. It's not an ad. I'm just telling you it's good content. That's it. Don't hang up. And I'll talk to you next time. Thank you, Brian. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.